hey look, it's an Instagram page which I created. Now I want you guys to go over my real fans and follow this page, because I'm going to be giving shout outs to people who DM me asking whether I should shout out their Instagram page or whether I should shout out their YouTube channel. Now this offer is very limited, so go ahead to my Instagram page, follow and switch on the notification button before the offer ends. Okay, so after everything Onoki said, I agree with him with one thing, and that is that shinobi obviously are no longer a thing anymore in the modern world. Now that brings a question though, and that question is, if they are no longer a thing, then why do we have this show about Boruto? I mean, the entire show is about ninjas, so if this guy is saying that ninjas are becoming redundant, isn't that basically saying this entire show is becoming redundant? And also, because of the power scaling and all that stuff that we have, it's like they are not even doing ninja stuff anymore, kind of thing. Now it's the highest you can go is throwing a nuke from one side of the planet to the other, right? Anyway, let's talk about this episode. So we find out exactly why Onoki started his grand plan in general, and it's not just because he just wants to protect people in his village. There was a source to that, there was a cause to that, and that is his grandson Kozuchi, who died. Now everything that Onoki has done so far, I think, to be honest with you, is done because of guilt. He's only doing this because he feels guilty about the death of his grandson caused by him telling his grandson that he should never run away from a fight. Does this remind you of someone else? Oh yeah, it is Uzumaki Naruto, alright? Kozuchi is just a clone of Uzumaki Naruto. He wants to become the Kage of the village. He gets told not to run. The only difference between him and Naruto is that Naruto has the main character plot no jutsu on him, meaning that he will not die no matter what. Think about how many close calls Naruto as a character has had to his own death and survived because some kind of miracle happened. Someone ended up arriving on time to save him, or he had these special abilities which would help him survive any situation. And therefore Naruto was basically secured to stay alive from beginning to end, and up until now he's still alive. Now that doesn't apply to Kozuchi, and that is why he died, because obviously he got cocky. Onoki set this unrealistic expectation on him, and then obviously he went and then he fought. Now these ninjas that he must be fighting are probably old enough to have experienced the war. Now the ninjas there were said to be looking for something. Whatever that is that they were looking for, it wasn't really expanded upon. Who knows, maybe these are like Kara members who actually took this character out. Who knows? I mean, if that was the case, that would be really exciting, because that would be setting plot points for certain actions of characters in the future. That would be actually exciting, but obviously I don't expect this to happen in Boruto, because Boruto is really straightforward. It's not really planned out like that. Another piece of information we get is that all these synthetic humans are actually made of white zetsu, or at least a sample of white zetsu was used in order to create these things. Do you know what that means? That's a huge deal, because if that is the case, white zetsu had access to all the chakra elements, and because of that, because we have this piece of information, it actually makes sense why all these characters can use Jinton, right? I remember it has been confirmed by Onoki that he used some of his cells to create Ku, and maybe that is why Ku actually looked humanoid, but he never actually said that because he gave his cells to Ku that Ku is able to use Jinton. None of that stuff was mentioned, so I think most possibly he taught Ku Jinton because the white zetsu DNA allows all these synthetic humans to use all kinds of elements, right? And because of that, he was able to learn Jinton. I think that was the case. That is the mystery behind the reason why this guy can use Jinton. And for those who do not know about the spoilers, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but there are other characters that can actually use dust release, and this is all actually making sense. Onoki's goal is to basically create an army of synthetic humans who will guard the hidden rock village, and that sounds like a good idea because obviously the new generation of ninjas are weak, and you can replace them with an army who are prepped for that job and are suited for that job, but at the same time they have their own will. This guy failed to acknowledge that. I think his guilt has blinded him to the point where all he thinks about is just correcting his mistakes, and because of that, he has created humanoids who actually have their own will, and now they're betraying him. Does that sound familiar to you? Oh yeah, that's right. Uchiha Shin faced this same problem because he raised these synthetic humans. They finally decided to act upon their own will, or based on what they know, and they actually betrayed him, and that is exactly what is happening here. And guess who already has an army of synthetic humans back in their village? Oh yeah, that's right, it's Konoha. So Konoha has basically completed or achieved exactly what Onoki is trying. So instead of going for Mitsuki, why doesn't Onoki either go to Orochimaru, or why doesn't he just capture one of the Uchiha Shins? I mean, there are so many of them. If one was to disappear, I don't think any one of them would actually notice except the Shins, because they might probably know each other. And that is basically the topic about this episode. I know people are going to be praising this episode, saying it's very emotional, but at the end of the day, Onoki still went all Orochimaru and committed crimes, and therefore he still must pay. I don't know whether they're actually gonna punish him and do what should be done to someone who commits a crime, or whether they're gonna go all Boruto and all happy lovey-dovey like Naruto and just let this guy go. But at the end of the day, a few people died because of this person, and let's not forget that this guy's actions actually caused a coup d'etat in the entire village, and they also captured the Kage, which is punishable, should be punishable by death at this point. So he definitely has a lot of crimes that he must answer for. So therefore, that concludes my episode review. Go ahead to my Instagram page and follow me for a free shout out, because this is only for a limited period of time. So I would go ahead and, you know, follow my Instagram page. With that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I've got a few videos at the end which I want you to watch. And with that being said, I have nothing more to say. Bye.